Hello, teachers. Welcome back again to Buhay English Shuttle. All right. So, anyhow, teachers, for today's discussion, we're going to talk about how to conduct adult class. All right. So, I will going to show you guys how to conduct step by step uh, using this module. So, guys, ngayong this time we're going to I'm going to lead you how to ask some questions as well as how to have a fruitful discussion during your lesson. Okay? So right now, this is actually ito yung lesson ko kanina at 6:30 a.m. So before I conduct the class, I always have a review. So I go to this page, ti- titignan ko yung lesson memo, yung last teacher, that was teacher Larnie Tulip. And afterwards, from the title here, I'll ask a question. Like, the title was, I want to be on vacation all the time. So I make this as icebreaker for us. For example, where do you want to spend your vacation? Like that. So before I move on to this lesson, at least man lang may review ka na nabibigay sa student mo. So afterwards, I proceed to the lesson title. You ask your student to read the title with you. Read after me, you can say that. And afterwards, you read the learning objective. So let's proceed to the next page. For our next page, guys, you just need to, in my case, I let the students first read the words and phrases that you want to use. So this one. Kasi parang mga gamit kasi ito siya in making sentences like swimming, skateboarding, collections, stamps, posters. So I let the student read. So it's still the same thing. If low-level learner siya, I ask the student to read after me. If you can see naman the student can pronounce the words, so no need for that. So let your students read before I proceed to the picture. What Before I proceed to the picture. So I will normally ask the student, what can you see in the picture? Like that. So I ask the question, what kind of hobby or hobbies do you have? So if a student answer one word like swimming, so you let the student create a sentence. So you help the student create a sentence by doing I like or my hobby is swimming, like that. Then you ask a question to your student. How long have you been doing your hobby? Is that clear, guys? Now let's move on to the next page. So this time, on this page, I actually asked my student to read first the phrases and words in the box before I let the student match those words into the pictures. So for example, read after me, get into snowboarding. Afterwards, I'll give an example, get into rock climbing for number one, and I let the student answer the next number. Okay? And afterwards, we have go through the sentences. This part, I actually ask my students to uh, do the reading drill, like read after me still. Like I ask my student, uh, I'll read it first. When Bob first got into rock climbing, he went through many difficulties. So I asked my student to read this again. All right. Now, if there is a mispronounced word, take note of that and correct your student right away. So afterwards, you can have a review or a drill pronouncing those words again to ensure that the students get the correct pronunciation. All right. Still depends on the student's level, guys. So let's move on to our next page. So this page, guys, this is a passage, right? So before I go through to the passage, I proceed first with a picture. I ask my student, what can you see? Then the student will say, oh, a snowboarding teacher. Oh, is snowboarding. So let's proceed to the passage. If you can see your student can pronounce the words this part, you can just let him or her read everything. If he cannot, you have to guide him or her to read the words, okay, or the passage. So still reading drill pa rin for low-level learners. So for afterwards, you may ask your student, do you have any questions regarding this passage? If not, proceed to the questions. So most of adult students, special level 5 to 8, they will just answer direct answer, like one word answer, which season is Tanya's favorite and why. Some of them will say winter. So guide them to make a sentence. So still the same thing in the next part, next page. So next page naman, yeah, I proceed with a picture, passage, and ask a question. So, so, and if the student's having a hard time constructing a sentence, guide them. Most of them make mistakes in tenses, preposition, SVA. So especially this part. So you may actually type it down for them. All right, but still based on a student's choice of words. Now, let's move on to the next page. This part you're going to ask the students to share his experiences or experience of getting into some kind of sport. So you may paraphrase the question. How? We could say, what's your favorite sport? Like that. What kind of sport do you like to do? So you can also describe one of your hobbies related to your work. You can ask the student like this. And or if a student having a hard time understanding your question, you can just type it down for him or her. All right. For the last part, guys, this is very important to do a recap or a review. So do not forget to let your students read the words and phrases. And if there's a mistake, ask your student to repeat after 3 times. And afterwards, you let your students complete the sentence if time allows. Okay? So, of course, you will not end by just, having this wrap up. But of course, do not forget to leave a feedback. So, I normally just read the lesson memo part about automated siya. So, para madali naman sa atin na part. So, excellent work, Jimmy. It's a great see you talking, blah, blah, blah. So, like that. So, I just read this one to your student. And do not forget to write LM properly. Okay? So anyhow, teachers, Englisheras, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. You may leave a comment down below. Thank you. Bye, guys.